Welcome back, my friends. We have been building the war game from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. In the previous video, we saw how we need two while loops to build this game, and of course that means two Boolean variables. So game complete and move complete. Now we are going to get started building these let's say individual pieces of code. The way we will do it is that in the first stage, which is like in the next few videos, we look at one move, which is the inner while loop, and then we'll go on to do the game completion because that's actually really easier once we get the main thing in place. So let's just get started with the inner while loop. Now remember, the inner loop is about the move, and the way the move works is both players pick up one card and they throw it on top of the pile. Now remember, the players have a list called player cards and computer cards respectively. Now they need to pick up the top item of that card, which is item 0, and put this on the table. Now the way we do that in Python is actually quite interesting. We can use this function called the pop. Now first let's see this working in the code, then I'll come back here and explain what exactly happened because it's very interesting to understand how this pop actually works. So I come in here, I say, look, this has, remember, this is the inner while loop. So I just go and pick up, let's say, the player card as say card underscore p, and I say, look, player card is player cards dot pop, for example, 0. And similarly, I say card C, which is the computer card, is say play, say computer, so COMPUT, say, okay, something is wrong, compute, say cards and dot pop, say 0. And here let me just put a couple of prints. I say, okay, look, print, say the player card is, and that of course card underscore say p, and the computer card is, so I just control, so with indentation, so I just copy and just replace this to say computer card is say card C. Now before we test this whole thing out, I just have to make one change right now, which I will fix later on, but I do not want to end up in an infinite loop right now. And for that purpose, for now, and we'll fix this later, I'm just going to say move complete is true. And also outside of this loop, I'm going to say game complete is true. Now, the reason I need to do this is because if I were not to do this, then I'm effectively in an infinite loop, and that is going to cause me a lot of problems. So just to sort of, artificially right now, we'll obviously fix this later, just to make sure that this loop runs while I test it, I just make this change. So now let's see what happens here. It's very interesting, in fact. So, it says computer card is say D4, player card is D2. The interesting bit is if I look at now len of say player, cards, it has become 25. Now remember, when I did the player cards here in line number 22, I gave the first 26 cards to the player, the next 26 cards to the computer. But after this one move, I am left with only 25 cards. And the reason for that is I have used a pop statement, which basically says, okay, look, let me remove this item from the list and assign it to. Now the pop is very interesting. Just to sort of convince, make it a bit more convincing, let's say I were to print, let's say, player cards at this point of time, and so let's do this. So if I did this, notice my player card is D9. The entire player cards was D9, which was 9 of diamonds was the first card. Player card is D9 because my card P is, indeed D9. And now when I look at, let's say, player cards, notice that D9 has been taken out. And again, this is because we are using the pop statement. Pop statement is doing a dual action here. Number one, it's popping out or say taking out that particular element from the, from the list, and it is assigning it to a variable. Now this is very, very interesting. A little bit of compare and contrast will help here. The way I would do this, for example, in Scratch, the same exact commands would be done in two steps. I would say, okay, first set a variable card P to, let's say, item 1 of player cards. Remember, Scratch, the indexing starts on 1. And I'll say delete 1 of player cards. Now, both of these together are concisely done in this statement called pop. So pop removes item from the list. It also assigns it to a variable. And that is where this is quite powerful. Now, having done this, we need to make sure that these cards go to what is called the table cards, because remember, when the player or the computer puts these cards out, they end up on the table. And as we discussed earlier, we are going to use a list here to keep track of what cards are on the table. So for that purpose, I will create another list over here. I come and say, okay, look, table cards is, let's say, an empty list. And once the player and the computer cards have been, have been thrown onto the table, let's say, I am going to say, let me, append these both to the, to the table cards. Now remember, appending is like adding item to a list. So I just go and say table cards dot append. Let's say, card say underscore p, and table cards dot append, table cards dot append, let's say card underscore c. Now here I'm putting the player card first. I'm actually ignoring the toss, but if you want, you can say, okay, whoever won the toss has the chance first. And those cards are appended in the right order, so I'm kind of ignoring that. But let's see what has happened here when I run this code. Now remember, right now this code will run for exactly one pass, because I'm artificially setting move complete and game complete to true, because I just want to test it right now. So now it's very interesting. If I look at table cards, they are indeed three of spades and jack of hearts, S3 and HJ, because those were respectively the cards thrown by the player and the computer. And notice my list card table cards contains those cards which are on the table, because I just use append, which is exactly same as adding to the end of the list. And we have seen this before, and that's exactly what's going on. So I hope this is making sense. And we'll come back in the next video and start coding up the move in a little bit more detail. But I hope this is kind of logical and sensible to you. If you find that this way of learning by building activities, applying concepts, thinking through them is interesting, do look at our website, because our website www.ybyte.in has many such activities where you learn Python programming while building these activities. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.